Good evening and welcome to another Chubs Gone Wild. This is episode 487, recorded on March 27th, 2023, where it is 62 degrees outside the Chubs Gone Wild remote studios, where it is also partly cloudy. Is it partly cloudy? Yeah, there's a few clouds out there.
Okay.
Yeah. It's 13 days until Easter. Oh my stars. Do you have your baskets and bunnies ready?
I don't eat chocolate.
Well, I know, but you have
Sugar.
bunnies. Tessa.
Now,
So anyway, but yes, Easter is almost upon us. It is the great day where the Christian Lord rises out of the ground, and we celebrate by having symbols of fertility in baskets made of pagan people. It's also 218 days till Halloween, another pagan holiday, and 274 days until Christmas, which is another stolen pagan holiday. So interesting. I think there's a theme going on here.
it's not stolen, it's shared.
Really? Santa? Trees? Presents?
Jesus.
Who?
It's all about giving. Jesus gave to everyone. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus saves at the five and dime. Hey, Patreon.
Before you go on, now remember, those of you who love the rakin bass, here comes Peter Cottontail.
Here comes Peter.
Good luck trying to find it, but I know where it is. It's on YouTube.
Yes,
And
Queen.
you can see it there. No commercial. Well, if you, I don't have commercials, but if you do, you might have commercials, but it's a really good way of seeing it. And it's a nice copy. Last,
Yeah, it really is
yeah.
actually.
For that, I was really surprised.
There's
And it's
that
free.
one.
It's free.
So this is the one where he goes through all the holidays, right?
Yes. And
Yeah.
Iron Tail is chasing him.
Uh another just another reason to absolutely love and Vincent Price.
Yeah.
Another place you just never expect a Vincent Price, and yet he's there.
Well, it just shows you how versatile the guy could be. I mean, and he was very funny.
Yes, he was. Oh. All right. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi Nick, DJ Sausage from the Universe, Eric, Sean, Charles, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave Kingsley, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame to find out how you can be a supporter of lots and lots of wonderful projects for as little as $1 a month. All right, on March 27th, 1998, the Food and Drug Administration, also known as the FDA, approved the use of the drug Viagra, an oral medication that treats impotence. Isn't that interesting? It's an oral medication, but oh, anyway, so that's it.
What did you expect it to shove it down the urethra or something?
Oh, oh. Well, porn stars often have to, you know, shoot it in the penis with a needle.
I don't remember any of that. Oh, was that these days?
Yeah, that's more modern times here.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So, 1998 was when Viagra was finally approved. I mean, that was almost the year 2000.
It's 25 years ago.
I know, it's just so weird. The little blue pill that made everyone, many people happy.
Did you ever try it?
No, I
Um,
really needed to. I mean, not that I'm opposed if there ever came somebody that I would really want to try it with, but as general, no.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's no big deal.
Oh, from what I've
Okay.
heard, it's a very big deal.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I-
it. The weird thing is you get hard, but it doesn't really make you get horny.
right, exactly. Yeah, you can function and you can do what you need to do if you
Right,
needed to do it
right.
to whom you needed to do it with.
Ew.
Yeah. All right, today's affirmation, please cleanse yourself and then take a deep breath. Mm. Continual thoughts of joy heal anything and everything and let it out. I know. Kind of like hot. You have to hold it and let it flow.
Oh,
And then when you breathe out, your mind lets go. All right, well, let's see if we celebrate any holidays today. That seems like a fun thing to do. Today, we do celebrate the Exchange Day. We celebrate exchange. That is literally the name of the day.
okay,
Exchange. Also, it's National Joe Day.
okay,
Joe Mama. Uh, National Scribble. National Spanish Paella. Oh, I wonder if I've ever had a paella. I don't know. I don't think so. Anyway,
probably,
it's so what? Go ahead.
probably not.
Yeah, probably not. It's also Quirky Country Music Song Titles Day. Achy Breaky Heart.
Night the lights went out in Georgia. You know,
Ooh.
divorce, Divorce.
Uh, The Coat of Many Colors. No, no, not so much. Islands in the Stream.
I don't know if that's quirky. Yeah, I guess it is a little bit.
Hmm. Okay.
Uh,
It's also World Theater Day.
I saw that. Isn't it International Theater Day or is it World Theater?
It says World Theater Day.
Okay. Okay.
Well, what have you done for theater lately?
Nothing.
Me neither. All right. Oh, but I don't know. Do you remember? Okay, so remember the play that we did, Poughkeepsie Porn Company?
Yeah, yeah. That just
Yeah,
we had the anniversary of it a couple days ago.
that's right. Didn't even realize that.
That
Um,
was two, part two.
oh, that was part two. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, part two. So, part one, we had a character in it named Dick, Dick Dastardly,
Okay.
and he was played by
I don't remember.
an actor named. Oh, sorry, a very thin ghost just walked past you.
Yeah.
Um, it was so anyway. He was played by Christian. He was the bad guy, quote
Okay.
unquote bad guy, and played by an actor named Christian. Well, Christian St. Croix has gone on to be an extremely celebrated, nationally and internationally produced playwright of trans and BIPOC plays.
Oh,
And he just picked up 2 awards this weekend. And he and I stay in touch. He's such an amazing talent. I am just so glad that we got a chance to work with him. Anyway, but yeah, he's really doing amazing. And so while we may not have uh, done be doing theater right now, our legacy, because he once told me that watching Written on the Hill back when we did that show, it was the first time he had really seen gay theater and realized that we could incorporate our own community into theater, which may seem odd, but honestly, I get it. Anyway, I'm just saying that our legacy in a lot of the actors and stuff that we've helped or worked with along the way lives on. So there we go. We contributed. Moving on.
Okay.
It's Bacon birthday month.
I can't believe it's almost over.
I know. Only 5 more days. Yeah.
5
See,
more days.
they're chanting. Yeah. So happy birthday month, Ms. Bacon. I'm so happy for all the wonderful things that she is doing and going through right now. Just absolutely love hearing about all her adventures. And also, 2 days ago was my friend Heather's birthday. And since Heather is not, normally on our list and stuff, I wanted to say happy birthday to Heather.
Oh, did it fall? Wait, was it Friday? Saturday?
It was no, it was yeah, it was Saturday, and I
Okay.
invited her over, but she was just decided to kind of stay home and do her own thing, which some people like to do. Whatever. More cake corners for me. All right. Today's birthdays. Happy birthday to David. And upcoming happy birthday to Joseph, Ron, Robert, Yuka, Shane, Daniel Brewer, that dirty, dirty Daniel Brewer. Uh, Home of one of the inventors, the creators, the founders, the icons of the Pride 48 community. Also, happy birthday to Waylon, author Dan Choi. We've got Susan and Mal, that Madge Weinstein, one of the godparents of podcasting, the bloated lesbian herself. Alrighty then. We also have singer Raquella. We've got Adam, Matt, John Ong, who is also one of the icons, one of the founders, one of the original queer, if not the original queer podcaster. I mean, we're talking old school podcasting here.
Mm-hmm.
So happy birthday to John. Also, Joseph, Christy, Tom, David, and Mia. Mia Ho Moore. David Ryan, actually, he is another one. We called him Zillafag. And he was one of the right after the original podcasters. He was like boom, right in there. Actually, right before the first Spanking B. Arthur was released. So special delivery Mark, Pizza Bag, the Freak Network, that whole thing right in there. Yeah, I'm very excited that Tom Goss is coming here to Sacramento on the 14th of April. Get a chance to meet him. Are you coming out?
Maybe
That'd be cool. You should.
a free event.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so those are the birthdays we have coming up. Happy birthday to everyone. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Yes. Hey, we do have a couple things in our feed bag, starting with Sean, who wrote in and said, only thing I can think of with that advice column is the mom was implying that the boyfriend was getting some action in the garage.
I don't, can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
Hey,
Feedback from
it looks like the internet hiccuped or something.
oh, well, it probably got drunk.
Okay, so you said
Okay.
Sean.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, Sean said the only thing that he could think of is the advice column that we read was that the mom was implying the boyfriend was getting some action on the side in the garage, and the condom wrapper was proof. Or maybe she was naive enough to think that her daughter wouldn't be getting it on with her live-in boyfriend. I don't know, but Mm.
I know it's no, 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 it's no,
Okay.
it's no, 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 it's no,
Whoa.
it's no, 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 it's
What
no,
the
it's no, it's no.
fuck? Did you hear all that?
It's no, it's no, it's no, it's no, it's no, it's no, it's no,
Still
it's no,
going
it's no,
now.
it's no, it's no, it's no, it's no, it's no, it's no,
Okay,
it's
we're
no,
gonna
it's no,
pause
it's
this
no,
for a
it's no,
second,
it's no, it's no,
people.
it's no, it's no,
And there, so we had a little technical glitch, so we had to stop and get that fixed for you, for us and you. That's how we roll. Hmm. Anyway, so yes, I agree with you that that was just a stupid question in the whole in the beginning of the world. All right, we do have some chub hugs to send out. I would like to send out several of them, including to our sponsor, Golden Rule Services, who ended up having a massive break-in this week. Did you see about that?
I only heard from you.
Okay. And so it looked like it was a kind of a targeted thing, but yeah, they smashed in the glass front door and then kicked in one of the inner office doors and stole a stole a bunch of stuff. And it was pretty pretty out there, pretty crazy, pretty having to deal with it. So love to them. And also love to my friend Shafina and her family who are currently in Jerusalem, where they are stationed. And there's a lot of riots and stuff, protests. Well, not riots, but there are protests going on right now. And so a lot of things are shutting down. And from what I understand, it's actually a good thing, but it is scary to you know have them over there during that time.
Yeah, well, my friend was just in Paris, and right outside the building he was staying in, they were doing the protests over the change in retirement age.
Hmm.
So, so they were out there with like smoke bombs and chanting and
Wow.
yeah,
That's one of the things about France. Those French people, they'll go full ham on the core for what they want. I mean, their government is actually kind of afraid of them, which doesn't sound like a bad thing. Um, but what they change the retirement age to?
64 from 62.
Wow. It doesn't seem like a big jump, but it can certainly mean a lot to a lot of people. And in France,
Well,
they've got some great fucking systems too. I mean, they only have a
yeah,
4-day work week most of the time.
and they mostly have August off.
Yeah. And did you hear that there are companies in Britain that are now doing 4-day work weeks or split weeks and stuff like that and kind of shorter hours and stuff like that. And they said that there has been no significant change to their productivity or their costs or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, I this week on South Park,
Hmm.
uh, Eric Cartman gets a job because of Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Oh God.
So it's children working, and he gets a job, and he's a terrible, terrible, employee, of course.
Hmm.
He's there, and first thing he wants is his break, and he goes,
Uh,
but when do I get my break? You can get a break after 2 hours. Well, I'm going to take it right now. And this is not quite working, not working very hard Monday. So and then and which they have named. They have names for this shit now, where people are it's quietly quitting, and that's where you do the bare minimum, knowing they're not going to fire you
mm,
because they can't afford to, get someone in your position or whatever, blah blah blah. So you just do as little as possible. So it was all about Cartman and this whole process, the whole thing that's going on right now with, I'd say millennials, but it's not just millennials. So
no.
and it's because people want to work less. People want to retire sooner.
Well, I think people want to live. They want to enjoy life and we're not like we used to have to do, and just like everything was about the job. Everything was that we did was the job, and we never got to fucking go anywhere or enjoy anything.
right.
And people are like, wait a minute, there's, life. That's why I think that, all these models of like 4-day work weeks and shorter hours and shifts that are, like half day shifts that you can do with other people if you're like parents and stuff like that. Those are all great ideas, and we should be implementing them because the modern workplace is a changing thing, especially now since we've figured out, hey, guess what? You can work from home and still be productive. So anyway, just my opinion, right?
Well, Cartman wanted to work from home too, but he was hired to scoop ice cream at an ice cream
All
shop.
he had to do was scoop ice cream. Oh, girl,
Yeah, but he wants to
that's
work
a
from
good
home.
job.
Wants to work from home.
That's funny.
Yeah. So
Um,
it was interesting. I do want to send out chub hugs out to the school in Nashville that today had 3 students killed and 3 teachers, or let's say adults, we'll call them adults. We're not sure they're all teachers, but were gunned down by a 28-year-old female, which is the only thing interesting about all this, is that it's a woman that does this. Otherwise, it's just, I'm tired of the constant reruns of this bullshit. You
yep,
know, yeah.
it really is. I mean, it is at the point now we've had more mass shootings than we have had days this year, and it's getting to the point where it's we're getting numb to it because it happens so fucking much.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then of course we do want to send chub hugs out to Ukraine and
Always.
people around the world that are struggling with disasters. All right, we did have some celebrity deaths, sadly. Paul Grant, the British actor and stuntman who appeared in Star Wars and the Harry Potter films, was uh, died at age 56. We have Peter Werner, the prolific director, was 76. And then Nicholas Lloyd Webber, the Grammy nominated composer and eldest son of Andrew Lloyd Webber. He was 43, and he actually, I can believe he died of a cancer. Um, and then Wayne Swinney, a guitarist and founding member of the new metal band Saliva, died March 22nd. He was 59. So. And now, Tom wants to talk to you about.
Well, after that downer,
I know.
let's see.
Death, destruction, chub hugs
Uh,
for sad things.
okay, I did.
Tom wants to talk about.
We had uh, free Showtime last week on
Ooh.
Xfinity. So I did check out the first episode of Yellow Jackets. This is about a girls' soccer team that they're like a top-rated girls' soccer team. They're going to some kind of championships in a private plane. The plane goes down in the Canadian wilderness. Now, the movies, the series is kind of weird because it starts off in the snow. This girl being chased by something or someone falls into a pit and is killed, and then the next thing we know, we're back in the present, and here's these women who are all, dealing with life and getting through, and then all of a sudden we flash back to before, when we to realize who all these women really are. They're the girls that we saw at the beginning of the show, the soccer team. So and basically it goes present to past, and then present to past, a lot of flashbacking back and forth, so we can see who these girls are now and who they were back then before the plane crash. We see them in the plane, we assume it's gone down, and at the end there's a bunch of what looks like girls dressed like animals, ready to consume human flesh. So I think they're all cannibals, and they're all feeling bad about it. And this is like that's all I can tell from the show. Another new show I saw, which is called School Spirit, and this one's on Paramount Plus. It was about a girl who gets murdered at school. So her soul stays at the school, and also at the school there are all these other people who have died throughout the years at the school, either at the school or they went to the school at the time, so their bodies were I don't know, for some reason they came back to haunt the school. And so she's trying to figure out who killed her and why. And so it's interesting. But you know me, teenagers and paranormal, I'm there.
Mhm.
So Alaska Daily, we're coming up on the last episode this next week. We're just about done with this story arc that we had for the show. Once we get done with that one, so it's like, are we going to get renewed? Are we not going to get renewed? We've got this opportunity to go to New York and to different places to write for a newspaper, but will I stay with Daily News or the Alaskan Daily? Well, maybe if we get renewed, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's it. Just feels that way. I told you about Cartman getting a job. He also talks Butter, who also got a job, talks Butter into investing all his money into redoing Cartman's hot dog house to be a hot dog restaurant. Of course, nobody wants to work, so it doesn't do anything. It
Mm.
goes anywhere because only Butters is the only one that'll work. He's the only one that works. So, um, let's see. Survivor. Oh, this was interesting on Survivor, since you know Survivor pretty well. They at the end of the challenge, they took one person from each team and sent them off in a boat. And you're thinking, oh, they're gonna have to walk up that hill and look out at the view.
Yeah.
No, they sent them out, and then the three of them switched tribes. They all get a immunity idol, and they switch tribes. So whether they want to
Wow.
call their new tribe that they have the immunity idol or not, it was an interesting twist. And you know what, I think one that Survivor fans will appreciate. Yeah. So
Cool.
let's see. Finally saw The Last of Us, the
Mm.
disappointing season finale of the horrible, horrible show. I'll leave it at that. I know it's coming back, but maybe I won't hear about it when it comes back, and my system won't remind me, hey, here's that show you watched the first season of. No, no, I didn't. I didn't. Stop. Oh, and Perry Mason, which is also on HBO. I'm not really telling you about the episode. I'm just telling you how, and I want to say it was funny, awkward, fun, he funny, not like hysterical, making fun of funny.
Right.
But so there's this one scene where Paul Drake, who is the uh, public investigator that works for Perry Mason,
Mhm.
he's this young black man, and then Della Street, who used to be
Oh,
in the
I
original
love her.
Della Street, she used to be secretary, right? Just his secretary. Well, now she's not a secretary anymore. Also a lawyer, and so also a lesbian in the 1930s. Okay, so
Mm.
and then our Perry Mason is just a white guy. Um,
Ah,
uh, he may be Jewish. I'm not sure. I don't know.
yeah.
But they hire a secretary, and she's an Asian secretary. So I'm like, oh my God, this is HBO. This isn't Netflix.
Check,
What's going on
check,
here? Oh
check,
yeah, they
check.
just checked off all the boxes,
Yeah.
which I have no problem with.
No.
I think sometimes when I remember like on Modern Family where
Uh,
they were trying to get Haley into a college, and they showed her a pamphlet, and she goes, wait, where's the Indian kid in the wheelchair? Oh, here he is.
yeah.
Okay. So and it was just so funny when they have to diversify. I don't mind. I don't care.
Well, no, I think the
I'm
thing too,
glad. but
Yeah.
it's
No,
just it's just funny sometimes when it seems so obvious.
right. And I think the reason that it seems so obvious, especially to our generation, is because we grew up with so much television
Oh yeah,
where it wasn't like you maybe got a token black guy or a token gay guy or something, and it was so blatantly obvious that season three they added it so they could diversify, you
yeah,
know. So now, even though we love it and we're happy that it's there, it still at first stands out because to us it's weird. It's like, whoa, okay, you can tell. But I love the fact that the kids that are watching things like this now today, by the time they grow up, they're not even going to realize it's just going to be so normal to them. They
right.
won't even think about it. To whereas with us, we're still like, oh, good. It's not just a bunch of white people walking around again. I'm grabbing the water. Keep going.
Okay, so MILF Manor. This is the Discovery Plus show about the 60 year olds, mothers who are dating the 20 to 30-year-old sons, and some found love and others didn't, and it's over with, and but nobody got laid. I mean, Rodney Dangerfield would be very upset about this. So it was that was the one disappointment. I like the awkwardness and the kind of over the show itself, but I wanted to see some hookups, no
Yeah.
penetration, no me no care. Let's see, RuPaul. They got rid of Lucy DeLuca. Do you remember Lucy, the blonde? Always was complaining that she should have been in the top three.
Okay.
Okay, so and it felt really weird because it didn't feel like she should have been sent home.
Hmm.
But I think that between the girls, the rest of the queens, and even probably RuPaul and Michelle, that it just felt like they didn't like her and they got rid of her.
I wouldn't be surprised because she was obnoxious.
I may be wrong, but it just felt deliberate. So she's gone. Now we're down to the final four. So let's see.
Who are you voting for? Who do you want?
I mean, I kind of want Mistress, the big girl, because we need a big girl to finally win.
Ah,
Um, the Black Queen, she should have gone home this week, but she didn't. So um, it's probably not her. I do like the one that does the duck walk.
oh yes.
She's
Uh-huh.
she's really good, and I'm trying to think of who the fourth one is. I mean, it's a good group, but I'm okay with any of them at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's a good place to be.
yeah. Mass Singer, they sent home two people. The fairy was Holly Robinson Pete from 21
Oh
Jump Street.
wow. Okay.
Come to find, and they're going, wow, what have you been doing all this? She goes, well, I do a lot of singing.
Hmm.
I do voiceover work. And believe me, in Hollywood, if you can do voiceover work and you can do voiceover work where you sing, because she's done like theme songs to shows and stuff. So it was kind of cool. She looked great.
Hmm.
Uh, and then the tadpole, they called it something else, but it was a tadpole, was Alexa Bliss. She's a wrestler, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Famous wrestler. Then we had Ted Lasso. They tied the first game against one of the top players because they were expected to be the worst team in the organization, and that they beat one of the best teams, and or they tied. So they're hoping that they don't end up being the worst team because everyone's making fun of them. And at the end of the show, the guy, the foreign guy who's the one of the great soccer players right now, he ended up coming to Ted Lasso's team after the female boss went and told him, oh sure, you're going to go to the best team in the organization, and guess what, they would have won without you. They're going to win without you. They'll win with you or without you. It doesn't matter. But if you want to make a difference, why don't you go to a team that actually needs a good player, that needs a marquee player? But oh no, that's right. This is easier. So have a good time. She leaves, and next thing you know, he goes, well, they're going, well, we're so excited about you coming to the team. He goes, well, I've been thinking about it and I'm not going to them. I'm going to go to Richmond. And everyone's like, so that was fun.
Wow.
Let's see. Kindle Spirits finishes up their season this week, and it was, as always, they help out whoever's being haunted. They find out why they're being haunted and figure out a way, the best way to maybe make it less haunted. If we can't get, if they can't get rid of the ghost, you find out why the ghost is angry. Like one ghost they had was, it was in a museum where they had the ghost's portion of the museum, it was dedicated to this person.
Hmm?
They closed it up and they put somebody else's picture in there. But it's like Matthew's library, right? But you go in there and the first thing you see is my face. My picture
Ah.
is 3x4.
Hmm.
And they talk about, and they have pictures of me, yet this is your fucking library. So they go, take the pictures out, take all the pictures out, put his name, put some more pictures of him prominently in there, and you won't have any more problems. And they didn't, because the guy wanted his fucking room back.
Hmm.
So that was, but all the other paranormal, groups, they go in there and they'll tell you, yeah, it's haunted. Bye. Okay, we'll see you later. And it's like, you're leaving us with a ghost? Yes, yes, we are. So that was fun. And then we're off to what you and I watched mutually.
Okay, well, did you catch up on Night Court?
No.
No. Okay. So that's okay. There are supposed to be 13 episodes. I checked. There was no episode this week, I don't think.
Okay.
There are 10 episodes available, and the last one was the one that I talked about last week about the boyfriend. We finally meet him.
Yeah.
But it does say there are supposed to be 13 episodes, so we got we got three more coming. Um, then there's of course The Bachelor. I know you watched that.
I did watch The Bachelor, and I mean, right away, you don't bury the lead here. Ariel goes home, and the whole thing was, it starts off, he goes out with Ariel, they go to the night market, they have a great time. They're having, I mean, really, they were connecting, it was fun. And then he has a sleepover, but he doesn't sleep with her, doesn't
Right.
sleep with Ariel. Then he um and then let's see,
Next
so
one was
then
Gabby.
he goes out with Gabby, and Gabby, the whole time, whenever she's talking to the camera, she's like, I'm gonna fucking get some. there's no
Oh
way
yeah.
there's no way we're doing no sex on sex week. I'm doing sex. So she has sex with him. I
Yep.
don't remember what their fucking date was, because I was so disgusted at the fact that he has sex with her. And then
It was on the beach, and then she had that big meltdown.
that's right. That's right. Okay, but you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Uncle Fester, when Debbie was controlling him with the sex, remember? And that he would turn away from Morticia and Gomez. I'm
Yeah.
staying away from the family because I'm getting sex from my wife.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden it's like, she's like, well, you don't regret what we did, do you? No, 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 not at all. It was wonderful. It was beautiful, because I would hate to think you regretted. And he just, it was like all of a sudden she wrapped her labia around him and was carrying him now,
Oh
because
dear.
she controlled him now. And that's it, sounded controlling and it was gross. And then he goes out with Katie and says, oh, Katie, I feel really bad because I had sex with Gabby. And she's going, you know what? I don't want to hear about it, fucker.
Well,
Don't
yeah, and that's the thing is he was like, okay, so I don't know whether the producers pushed him into telling her. Well, I think he told Ariel. I don't know if he told Ariel, but he definitely told Katie. But whether he did it or this just shows how immature he is. I mean, he is only 26, so I doubt he's navigated many relationships as an adult. But whatever the fucking reason, this is the week that you expect it. Even Katie said, I figured that's what's going on. I figured you're going to sleep with all three of us, basically, is what she said. But I don't need to know. And I just think it was such bullshit that he
Yeah,
was like, oh, I have to tell everyone. I have to tell I'm such a horrible person because I had sex with Gabby. When she damn well, I bet you she did everything she had to get him to the point where he finally gave it up. And
oh
I
yeah,
think that he would have chosen, yeah, I think that he would have chosen Ariel and
Ariel.
Katie and sent Gabby home, but then he looks completely fucked up because
He's
he sent,
pussy hypnotized now.
yeah. Well, and but that's, I think the thing is that he's like, I can't send her home. I fucked her. Well, I slept with her or had sex with her or whatever they did on
They
national
made
TV.
love.
If I send her home now, I'm gonna look like the biggest fucking prick and do
Oh
the
yeah,
same thing
I
that
agree.
he got upset with uh, Rachel or whoever the hell it was about. So
Rachel, yeah, yeah.
yeah, he had to keep her. So I think that he's going to end up proposing to Katie.
I think he's going to propose to Gabby.
Well, you know what? You may have read the spoilers. I don't know.
I did not read.
I
Maybe you
haven't
read the
either. I've been
spoiler.
trying so hard not to. But I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he was trying to do the honorable thing or whatever. But Gabby comes off as such a manipulative little child.
She's horrible.
She's just so immature, and the others are like women who actually know themselves. But Gabby is just so like, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm he's an idiot for telling
Well,
them.
he was an idiot for sleeping with Gabby when he said he wasn't going to.
Of course,
No,
especially since he wasn't going
and
to. But why the hell did he put that on them in the first place? Now, if it were a woman that said, I'm not going to sleep with any of the bachelors, I'd be like, well, good for you, which is a very double standard. But for him, it just seemed like it was, anyway,
yeah.
it was stupid. The whole thing was stupid and became a big thing over nothing.
Well, and it was ugly. It was just
Yeah,
ugly. Yeah. So,
poor
um,
Katie.
let's see. Top Chef World All Stars pub food.
Yes. So, okay, I wanted to eat all the plates that the chefs got to eat when they went and sampled all, they did a pub
Oh
crawl
yeah,
and
yeah.
they got three dishes from each pub and like all bangers and mash and Yorkshire pudding and all this. I wanted all of it. I wanted to
Oh
sample
yeah.
all of it and taste all of it. But
Well,
when it came to their interpretations of it, I was not that impressed by
no.
any of it. And then, of course, well, because this is still new, we won't spoil who went home, but or went to last chance, whatever. But I agreed.
Um, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I couldn't be the other team. Let's just say that.
Well, yeah, exactly, and that's what I thought too. Because I'm like, well, the other team had a good reason for being, in the bottom two, but I didn't want them to go home.
Right. And either did anybody
Yeah,
else.
yeah. So anyway, but I was really sorry that the female that was on that team had to leave because I really like her.
But I really like the male on that other team that
Oh,
had to.
I'm not saying I don't like him too, but I'm just saying that I really like her. So it's actually this season I really kind of like almost everybody. So it is kind of sad to see each one of them go because
Right. Well, we have a few
I like
people that we know, and then we have all these new people that we don't know, and they're from different places. So we got a lot of accents and a
them.
lot of
Right.
different um
Of really
flavor
hot
profile.
guys,
Well, the play flavor profile is what I think is interesting because
of the
if you
guys.
think about it, we kind of go, oh, it's no big deal. It's we as Americans do nothing but eat, gross boring food, really, when you compare it to the rest of the world. I mean, you throw an Indian or a Middle Eastern or an Asian. I know Indian is also Asian, but there's a difference in the food. Somebody from Africa, you throw the all of a sudden. I mean, because believe me, if you've ever been somewhere and all of a sudden you taste something and go, "Wow, what is this?" It's usually like some Indian food. And I never knew the Indian food tasted like this, or like when you first had sushi and you're thinking, "Oh, this is going to be terrible." Oh, this is really good.
Right.
And just the difference between hamburgers and ribs. So that's the other thing that's kind of fun about it is you're going to get a lot of different taste profiles
Yes.
that we
Yeah.
never even thought about before.
I'm really enjoying this show.
Yeah.
Spring Baking Championship. I haven't watched the new episode yet.
Okay. Um uh, it's a team effort. I hope this doesn't ruin it for you.
Huh?
But what it is a breakup cake, and that's where each it's uh partners. So it's teams of two, and each one of them has to do a half of a birthday,
Oh,
not birthday cake, but a cake for a breakup. So each side they have to look identical but be completely different.
okay. That sounds really interesting. I will have
So
to watch that and catch
it
up.
was fun. And some of the cakes were just like, wow, amazing, amazing, because they're decorated individually. You can't have like one person doing decorations for both sides so they look identical. It's almost like RuPaul's Drag Race where they were trying to make the thing it was the family thing where you bring in some stranger and make them look like they're one of your family, drag
Oh
family,
yeah.
which is usually. And Lucy, by the way, did great. I still don't know why she's gone, but that's even more reason why I think they hate her.
Yeah.
Okay, so now how far did you get in Dance 100?
I'm done with it.
Oh, you finished the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of finished the whole thing, but I just did the one where they got rid of the two guys, and
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm like looking at it going, that girl was horrible. Why is she still here? She
Yeah.
should. The one girl that did the during the first one and ended up staying, because I didn't think that the heavy girl was much better, but I liked hers better than I liked the.
Right. But
So
I knew they were gonna vote the chunky chick off first. I
and
just
then I like the weirdo guy that
uh-huh.
is goth, but he's not, and he's
Yep.
a goober, and and I thought he was really interesting character on the show,
Right.
but come to and then well,
Well,
I only got through the first three eliminations, and I was not. I like the concept of the show where the dancers pick who they want to work with, and a bad choreographer is a bad choreographer. I get
right.
that. But the first time when the big girl gets not one of the 100 people to stand
Not
behind
one
her,
of them.
she's
Yeah.
got to be just the worst. And not only was she bad to work with, but she was bad to um I mean, everyone knew it. I mean, it was not just bad to work with. They talked about it because, or because it didn't look horrible, but I don't know.
Well,
It
and the one that voted, okay, so there was one guy, one dancer who they kept referring to for like two episodes, and he was actually the one who had the biggest problem with the goth guy.
Yes, I remember him.
His name was Johnny, and he was an absolute bitch. I swear it seemed like he just wanted to say shit, whether he believed it or not, whatever.
Right.
He just wanted to be like controversial so he would stand out and they would give him attention. I honestly couldn't care less about this show. It was the setup was horrible. The editing, when you're watching a dance number, especially a dance number of that magnitude, because they basically, for anyone that's not watching the show, they started out with seven choreographers. I think it was seven or eight
Eight choreographers, but seven people
dancers.
on each team.
right, and the choreographers had to dance with the team. And then each time they'd go down, they'd increase the number of dancers that were working with each choreographer.
No, oh, you mean after, because they doubled
Yeah,
it on the second one.
right, yeah.
Okay.
So, but they basically, um, when you're working with a stage where you that much, you want to see the dance. That's what we're there to watch. We're there to watch how great this dance is. And the editing that they did on this show, you couldn't keep track of anything that was going on. They would jump to 3, 4, 5 seconds of the dancers watching, and then 3 seconds of the dance. I'm like, show us the dance. We want to see. That's why we're watching it. But the editing was all over the place, and a
Yeah.
lot of the dancers were just fucking jerks. I thought the show, like you said, it has an interesting concept. I would like to see it retooled and just, I mean, hell, Dancing with the Stars is really cool, but you watch the dance.
Right.
Anyway, I just thought this show was a big fail.
Okay. Well, like I got through, um, like, because I watched the first two episodes and then the beginning of the third to find out who they got rid of,
Uh-huh.
because they played that bullshit game.
Yes, they
And
do.
and I was like, oh, okay,
Well, if
great.
you finish watching it, I think you'll be really surprised with who the final one is.
Okay. Okay.
So anyway,
Um,
next in fashion. Now I don't
right.
know if you already finished this
I
show.
finished it.
Okay, so I got through two
Now you were
episodes.
on season two.
Oh, you know what? I think I'm on season one.
Okay. Because I
So
didn't bother with season one because season two is readily available. So
maybe okay. So the first one had okay. The first one, the one that I watched, the episode had that one guy that did the hip hop look with the football player with the great big old like sleeping bag jacket.
yeah, well, I had that in the second one too, so that may be the what you're watching.
Okay, so
Oh,
that
but
probably
okay,
is. I'm
but
probably
was there a young black man dressed in patchwork denim?
yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and he and braces. Did you notice he has braces?
Oh, you know what? I didn't, but now you mentioned that, yeah, that's what he had a look that was that really stood out.
Yeah, I liked him a lot in the show.
Right. But
Well,
I just thought that first look that won in that first episode, it was basically it was a hip hop look. It was a basic football player jersey and what you would think that a football player would look like if they were trying to be all blingy. And then literally it
it's
was
the puffy coat.
a sleeping bag that
Puffy
was
coat.
turned, okay, if you want to call it
That's what they
that.
call it. That's what they call it.
I thought it was a fucking sleeping bag.
Yeah.
And it went far out. It like it was a big throne cape that draped on the it looked ridiculous. And I just thought, and they were like, this is so fashion forward. And I'm like, it's a sleeping bag over a football jersey. What?
You obviously
What are
just
you thinking?
don't understand.
Apparently, I don't. And episode two, I can't remember what the look was that won, but I thought that was even more. I was like, oh, this is finally a fashion show that is like at least, looking forward. But they sent like the most beautiful dress home. They're like, oh, that's been done a thousand times. Bye bye. I'm
It
like,
was weird that
well,
they sent
okay.
him. Well, they sent him home because all he did was copy something, and that's why they
Yeah,
sent. But I agree, he copied it, and it was beautiful.
it was really
I
beautiful.
don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say what these people want because, there's I so as you as you continue on in the show, stop listening to yourself. It's kind of
Yeah,
like because Project Runway and the other different
yes.
Project Runway takeoffs and ripoffs that we've had.
Making the
You
cut.
gotta stop. You gotta stop thinking that you have any taste at all.
I know, you really do. I
Yeah.
mean, like when they did that garden challenge, where they're
Yeah.
like, everything you have has to be like a plant or something. And I'm like watching it, I'm going, actually that's kind of innovative. And then the ones that I like are like, oh, this is horrible. And the ones that, I was like, oh God, that is just awful. That
Well, what
gardener
I don't understand
outfit. They're like, this is beautiful.
is how that girl who makes children's wear, obviously,
Yeah.
with it's like she's caught in the 70s with the Brady Bunch flowers, the daisies, and it's just and oversized, and it's just horrible.
Yeah.
She is horrible.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
her.
No, there are some of them on there that I'm like, oh, you are keeping them for the wrong reasons because there's no talent there, girl. Anyway, and then the other thing we both watch is I caught up. I watched all the episodes of Animal Control last night.
Okay.
So I think it's fun, but it's not. It's lacking something. What it is not lacking though is attractive guys, and I think that Joel McHale is just so hot. I don't know why. There's just something so hot about him.
Yeah,
But I think it's got a great cast. It's got
right.
a great cast. It's got a great premise. It's got some funny bits, but there's just something that's just kind of missing yet for me.
And
I
yeah,
don't know.
I'm thinking it's season one
Mhm.
getting getting the feel for everything.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing it. I don't know, pull together, develop more or whatever. But yeah, it's good. It's good. It's. I would definitely say to give it a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, things that I watched on my own. I went and saw Shazam: Fury of the Gods in the theater, and I will say that it was worth it. I have the last three. I don't know. Did I talk about seeing 65 last week?
No.
Okay. So I also saw 65, which had
Adam Driver.
yeah, who I never know whether I like him or I don't.
Oh, I always like him. I just don't want to have sex with him.
Really, I would have sex with him if I didn't have to. Anyway,
Look at
uh,
him. Yeah, I mean,
stop, stop
he's not
saying things that I might think.
he's not
He's
he's not
classically
attractive.
Italian.
What
He's classically Italian
is it?
looking. Yes,
See, not the
yes.
Italians I know.
Well, if you no, but if you look at the old like Roman statues and stuff like that, he looks very very much an Italian person.
Well, John Oliver wants him bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's always like, so I really was loving this movie, but all I kept thinking about was the divorce story and my dear, gorgeous Adam Driver and the way he taunts me from the screen. I know he's talking to me. And,
Yeah.
and Adam Driver's in on it now. So he's like, there's clips. You have to stop referring to me on your show. I
Oh,
don't want
I
to
think I've
be
seen that.
on you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very funny. He's
Yeah.
I love it, but I don't get why he's no, not my type.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. The show House of Gucci, the way that they had him wear his hair in House of Gucci. Oh my God. I mean, it was awful. The movie was awful. Everything about that thing. Even Lady Gaga, who gave an amazing performance for what she had, it was just an awful fucking movie. Anyway, but back to 65. 65 was everybody thinks that that from the previews that it's somebody that is from our time who gets stuck back in 65 million BC, and it's actually not. It's like an alien. They're like alien, uh, but look human
Well,
from that time
it's
period who come to and crash here. And,
Earth. It's Earth.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, come on. It's from the preview. It's obvious that this now, does he end up fucking the girl and that's how the planet gets started? Are they Adam and
Oh,
Eve?
no, not at all. In fact, the girl's
Oh.
like only 12 or something, 11 or
Well,
12
I mean, we
or
got a
9.
few.
No, she was
Yeah, but
9.
remember, this was back how many years ago? We don't
Okay,
know when
yeah,
they.
okay, we're not Republicans. Um,
Well, Romeo and
sorry,
Juliet, she was 11.
no, she was actually 9, I believe, but she was the oldest 9 I've ever seen outside of 50s television. Um, but no, they ended up crashing, and they had to get to the escape pod, which was like 15 miles away through dinosaurs and muck and things like that. It was a good movie. I mean, it wasn't something that I would go rush out and say, oh, I'm going to watch that again, but it was definitely a good popcorn watch. Um, the only thing, what was it? The only thing, was there something about, yeah, it was a good popcorn watch. Watch it. Uh, oh shoot, I lost the thought. There was something. The dinosaurs were unrealistic. Or they were fun. That was fun. It was a fun watch. What was? Oh, God.
Go to the
Oh well,
next one.
maybe I'll think of it later.
Right.
Um, yeah, but definitely interesting. Um, so Shazam, Fury of the Gods, really fun movie. It's better. It was actually better than the last several Avengers movies, which is just so weird to say, but it was. Um, it it Go see it if you want to go see a fun movie. Shazam, Fury of the Gods. It was basically about, him and his makeshift family saving the world. Helen Mirren was in it. And even though she mostly played a bad woman, and she played a bad woman, she was awesome in it. Lucy Liu was in it. She played her character. It was kind of one note, but it was fine. And she was wonderful. Uh, I don't remember any other really stars in the cast, but yeah, it was great. It was a very fun movie. And there's a special guest. Actually, there's several guest spots, but one toward the end that I actually made me squee. Um, but I don't want to ruin it for anybody that wants to go see it,
Wait,
so I
is that
won't
when The
tell
Rock
you.
comes out?
No, The Rock's not in it, although I swear there's, those there was two after parts, where you have to watch the credits to get to.
Right,
And I
right.
swear there was one I was waiting for the Rock to come
Well,
on.
he was supposed to be in one of them. I don't know which one, but
No.
it's
Mm-mm.
DC, so I
Yeah,
don't know. Yeah.
no. Oh, but
Well, the reviews have sucked. Just tell
well, then
you.
the reviews are stupid.
Okay.
Um, it's a fun show.
Why do you think no one's seeing it?
I think because they're probably so disillusioned by all the fucking crap that's come out lately, they don't want to take a chance on it. And plus, Shazam gets after, because the whole the Rock movie, the Black Adam,
Blackout.
is part of the Shazam universe, and eventually
Right.
they're supposed to bring them together.
Oh, that's why.
But
Okay.
I think that did hurt it because Black Adam was such a piece of poo. Although I've heard some of our Facebook friends that are just like, oh la la, it was so fabulous. I'm like, I don't know what movie you watched. Um, but anyway, Shazam was really good. And if you like hero movies, I suggest you go see this one in the theater because I imagine with the way that it's being received, it will go out pretty quick, and it's a shame. All right. How I Met Your Father, season 2, episode 9, The Welcome Protocol, which guest starred Wendy Malick, who I love, and I love seeing her everywhere. It was actually a good episode. They're trying to they keep throwing in the romance stuff, which I guess, How I Met Your Father, they keep doing that, but it actually kind of weakens the show and makes it kind of boring. But I'm wondering if they changed up writers because they've actually got some fun stuff going on now. So I'm too lazy to go look, but I was like, huh, this was actually funny. The last one was actually funny. The one before that, funny. So I don't know. Maybe they're hitting their stride. I didn't
Yeah.
even mind the blonde chick
I
whose name
wonder if
I can't remember.
I quit too early, maybe.
Uh, if you can slog through the first couple episodes, I think you'll
I
like
did
the
already.
last.
That's when I quit.
Okay, well, that's probably you had made a good choice. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
it is getting better, so I'm happy
Okay.
about that.
Okay.
Lopez versus Lopez, they which is on Peacock. This one was about how um, the older Lopez has convinced the younger Lopez that cheating is in their blood, so that they will always be a family of cheaters. And they have this flashback to that cheater or whatever. But anyway, it's a fun show. It's got better, and they had Justina Machado guest star. She was the chick from One Day at a Time, and they actually made a really funny reference to that in there. It's great. It's fun. It's a fun show. Getting better too. Call Me Cat. So it's gearing up for its last episode. Last episode of this season, and of course they had to throw in a curveball lesbian kiss. Um, And the thing was, it's funny because actually Nephi was pointing out that on the when Roseanne had the surprise lesbian kiss, it basically, they took the show off for that episode all over the country. To whereas now this didn't even get a note in a TV guide.
Not even a blip.
Nope. But anyway, I can see that they are getting what they did with this episode is they basically set it up so that everything is gonna cause a big rift between Max and Kat for the season finale, and then they're gonna try to do a cliffhanger of are they breaking up after they just spent all this season finally getting them together, moving them in, and finally making the chemistry of the show really work. So I'm sad that they're probably going to do that. But there's one more episode, and it's not going to be out for like another week or two. I watched Outlast on Netflix because you recommended to watch it or said that it was there.
Yeah, I said it was there. I did not recommend it.
Okay. Well, I watched it, and my notes are what an awful show about awful people. Four teams of basically mega survivalists types go into Alaska to live in the woods and show how horrible they can be. There
Yeah,
were
now I do want to state that the women were equally as awful as the men.
I think more so.
Well, not all of them.
No, no, not all of them. I
No.
mean, and that's there did turn out to be a few good people on the show, or at least ones that weren't,
Well, they didn't just quit
awful.
because they didn't want to deal with the bullshit on the show.
Right.
I'll tell you, I would have left when the two left after the um right before the guy burned his place. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I would have gone home with those two because they were right. This is not the game we were told we were going to be playing.
Yeah.
And because I was screaming to kill her, just
Well,
fucking kill her.
I wouldn't have said that. But let me tell you, when those two, the yoga instructor who has seen more crazy shit in life, and she scared me. And then the blonde chick, Hunter,
Yeah, I know who you're
she
talking about.
scared me too. But basically, when they were confronting that guy, like ready to take all his stuff and like basically say, "We're gonna get you out no matter what we have to do to do it," I was mad. I was like
Oh, I was
inside
furious. That was my
burned
last
up.
episode.
I was so pissed.
Yeah,
And the thing that, and then watching them, uh, the thing that threw me most was those two in the end, they
good.
lost to the three guys who were actually kind of pretty decent guys. Um, and they sat there crying and they're like, but we're the underdogs. the underdogs are supposed to win. And I'm like, you guys were the bullies. You were the biggest bullies in the whole game. And I I hated this show because of them. They're
Right.
just awful, awful people. And I do not recommend watching this show unless you just want to see some awful people. And sometimes you do.
I
So,
mean, now knowing that they get theirs in the end, I might go back and watch it, but I doubt it because
oh yeah.
I'm so furious that he had to burn his fucking camp down so they
Mhm.
wouldn't steal his shit.
Right.
It was what I would have done first was gone over and burned their camp down. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I would have burned everybody's camp down and said, "This is the end of this fucking series." I was I was so mad. I haven't had anything make me that angry in a
Uh-huh.
long time. And I watch crappy shows.
Oh, no. But
Yeah,
no, I'm telling you, I was the same way. When they did that to that guy and they were just like breaking his shit and ready to steal it and put him to where there was nothing that he could do. They were the bit oh god, I was so mad. I was just livid. And the only revenge that anybody got was that they didn't win. Other than that, they faced absolutely no consequences at all.
right. Yeah. I
So,
mean, and people are they're gonna go home and their friends are gonna go, God, they just didn't understand where you guys were coming from, did they? It's
oh
like,
yeah, because they probably shoot him in the face if they said anything else.
oh,
They were nuts.
they were horrible. And I'll tell you, I would have, the thing is, I would have said to the producers who were standing right there,
Uh,
I would
filming.
have said, okay, if I hit her, then I get thrown off the show. But if she destroys my raft, no,
Mhm.
no, nothing happens to her. Fuck you, people. I'm quitting right now. I'm not going to fire the fucking thing. You're going to fire the fucking thing and get me out of here because I don't want to be here anymore. This is bullshit.
Yeah, and you know what? If you want to have a show where there's dirty gameplay and shit like that, I guess you have that prerogative. But that was like next level nuts.
I mean, I haven't seen anything that horrible, not even on, 40 seasons of Survivor and
Uh-uh.
the race, the great race, whatever the thing is called, or on Big Brother or American Idol. None of that shit. I've never seen anything this horrible. And just move on before I have to yell again.
Okay. So, and then after that, I watched Pressure Cooker, which I guess you watched a while
I've seen
back, and
one
I just
thing.
didn't realize. What?
Watched it months ago when it first came
Okay.
out.
So, a bunch of chefs are put into a type of Big Brother house, and they have to cook a bunch of competitions with a bunch of judgment twists that, in the end, were completely fucking pointless.
Yeah.
And it was basically a popularity contest and not a best chef contest, which okay, I mean I can accept that. That's fine. They're mixing it all up. I didn't really have any problem with that.
I
Um,
didn't either, but I do, if you're gonna
it
you,
really felt pointless in the end.
you still should be striving for the best chef, not
Yeah.
the most popular chef. And that's the thing that bothered me about the show. Otherwise, I really enjoyed it. I really liked the show. I liked the people. I liked the fact that we didn't have, that it was like Big Brother where they were kind of constricted
Mhm.
to the set. And
Right.
I appreciated that. But yeah, I did not like the just the what is it? There's a thing with the schoolyard pick,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it just felt too much like that. The
Right.
popular kids always win.
Yeah, and that's why I was glad when that woman with the bleach blonde bad haircut went home. I think her name was Caroline or something. Her and that other chick who was the one that uh she she worked everybody and she lied to everybody's face. And then she was surprised when she got kicked out. I was like, why? Um, Basically, I said I liked maybe four of these people. The rest were just filler queens whose egos were their downfall. And even though coming into it, I didn't like the guy that won, or I didn't care for his personality, by the end of it, I actually was glad that he won. I thought he
Yeah,
could.
I wasn't upset with the winners.
Yeah. Oh, I should rephrase that. The guy that won, I liked. It was the other guy that I didn't like in the beginning, but then at the end I liked. And I thought the
The big
finalists were
guy,
good picks.
the big guy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the big guy and then the blonde kind of weird guy. He's the one that I didn't like at first, but
Oh, okay.
on
Okay.
me. Okay, let's move into advice. This one comes again from dear Amy, somewhere out there. Go find them, support them if you can. Um, uh, let's see. I am very proud of my daughter-in-law just completed her PhD, and I'm very proud of her. She has worked hard for many years to accomplish this goal. I asked to take her and our son out to dinner to celebrate, and my son informed me that while they appreciate the sentiment, they would rather not. I was a bit miffed to be rejected because I know that they were celebrating with her parents. My son finally confessed that our daughter in law has felt unsupported by me in her pursuit of the PhD. I routinely asked after her PhD studies, and she often responded with something like, I'm stressed about this or that. My typical response was to tell her that I was sure that she would do just great at whatever it was. I thought I was being supportive, but apparently she hears this as, you're complaining of nothing, and it is wrong for you to be stressed. At this point, we seem to be at an awkward impasse. Am I wrong to be hurt and insulted? I think she is being very oversensitive to interpret my comments in such a negative light. Also, in all these years, she has never said anything to me about it. Now I find I've committed a high crime of telling her that I thought she would succeed. Am I missing something? Yes, you're missing that your daughter-in-law, and you are both uh, idiots. You know what? Some people just want to take stuff wrong. And if she thought that you were being submissive, or not submissive, but dismissive, chances are you were and didn't realize it. Okay, I think you're muted.
Or it's something she's, always had against the mother, you know,
Mm-hmm.
which it's hard to tell because we have to trust that the writer is telling us everything.
Right.
So, yeah, it's just, do these people actually see each other enough to worry about this?
Well, I mean, if it's your son-in-law and you're probably going to have kids at some point, you probably want to be nice for the kids' sake so you can see your grandkids. I would say probably try to talk it out a little bit, apologize that if you were submissive, you didn't mean it that way at all, and see if that helps. And if not, you just kind of have to let it go and move on and try to do better in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it sounds,
Iffy,
well,
agree.
it's just, I, this is the kind of stuff. It's like when people go, oh God, it must be horrible that, if you, like, let's say, once a year you have to meet with a board, some board that you're on, and you dread that you're going to spend an hour and a half with these people once a
Hour and
year.
a half.
It's
That'd
once
be
a fucking
nice.
year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like it's every week.
Right.
People need to, just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. That's how I get through things.
Oh, I
I
see
just
what you're saying.
get through it,
Yeah.
go home, and then I don't have to deal with it for another year or another 6 months, whatever.
Well, honestly, I mean, like, when I tell you like something's bothering me or something, and you know, that I'm struggling with, finishing my article or something like that, and you'd be like, well, that's tough, but you always manage to pull it off. There's nothing wrong with that. But
Right.
and if I was mad at you about something else, I could take it and be like, I told him that I was struggling and he just blew it off and didn't say anything.
Sure. I mean, everything's down for interpretation,
Right.
especially and it's even worse with somebody that you already feel is um
against
talking
you,
down to
or
you or against you
yeah,
or doesn't
yeah,
like you. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so well, let's see what dear Amy had to say. I'm sure Amy has some great advice. Let's see. Dear, your feelings are justified. Didn't expect that. No, okay. Your son has been honest with you regarding his wife's sensitivities. Some people regard any feedback, even positive feedback, as a critique when they believe they are only venting. This is immature and frustrating. I suggest that you communicate directly with your daughter in law. Tell her judiciously what your son has explained to you and ask her if you two can have a reset. Maintain an open attitude. Don't resort to sarcasm. Listen intently and do your very best to understand her feelings and communicate your own.
And don't use that weird English accent when you're talking to your daughter because it just makes you sound like
I
you.
thought that was more no Western.
Oh well, but that totally makes it sound like, oh gosh, this woman's a bitch. Oh, oh my God. Okay, yeah.
All right. Let's see. Hey Chubs, do you think you're a good kisser?
Um, I'm better now. I think I wasn't for a long time because I didn't get a lot of work at it, but or,
Uh,
and you know, with you when you're with people that just are gross kissers,
oh
um,
yeah, yeah,
it's it makes you pull away a little bit when you're dealing with that. Or
yeah. Yeah,
I think I'm better now.
I think I am. I've certainly been told that I am, but I have been with a couple people. One of them who his idea of kissing was basically seriously shoving his tongue all the way in my mouth,
Well, yeah,
way into like
exactly.
back, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Are you trying
And
to gag me?"
well, and there's never any real thought behind it.
Yeah,
It's like trying to, push your a body through a airplane window in flight. It's just no. What are
I
you
was like,
doing?
who taught you how to kiss? Or
Yeah.
anyway, so I have had some bad experiences with that.
I've had some a very saliva-y people.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's really gross.
yeah.
Thank God you have a beard or a mustache because it helps soak that up while you're looking for a towel before it drips onto your shirt.
Uh,
Been so
yeah.
bad. Or coffee drinkers,
Oh,
uh, smokers.
or ones that do both at the same time. I had one of those. Oh, that was
Yeah.
crazy.
I remember one guy. Oh, I don't want to tell the story online. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Um, the best though was Rich, who used to run the magazine.
Oh, I thought you meant Rich Jones. Oh, I said his last name.
Oh yeah. Oh, you don't care.
Okay.
But yeah, our magazine friend from many years ago. Oh my God, that man, he was just the best. Anyway, moving on. Hey Chubbs, what are your thoughts on sex before marriage?
What a dumb. What? Who sent this in? Seriously, who sent this in? Um, I'll tell you, and I know that this is just in general, but I'll tell you, anybody that gets married and has not had sex with the person they're getting married to
Hmm.
is a dummy.
Yeah, you need to find out if you're compatible in that way.
Well,
Uh,
just even if it's just once,
yeah.
knowing because I mean, I've been around people that just didn't smell right to me, you
Well,
know,
and yeah, yeah.
that type of thing. Or they're horrible kissers, they're droolers. They snore too much when they sleep. They fart too much in their there's so many things that you can find out spending one evening, one night with one person, have sex with them, and then spend the rest of the night with them, and you'll know in the morning if you want them to die or to stay.
Unless you're Zach.
Ah,
Anyway, yeah, I think that it is fine, but the thing is being gay and being gay coming from our era, you couldn't get married, so it was just something you did.
yeah, that was that. I think I think a better question was do you believe in sex on the first date? Of course. I'm from
Well, isn't that what a gay
I
day
was, I,
is?
I was child of the 70s. Yes, of course. That's
Yeah,
exactly what it is. Because and I guess if you got to think, well, was that really a date?
right.
Okay.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
and that's the thing is when I mean I've been on a few dates, but most of the time it was basically, hey, we're getting together to have dinner before sex. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Moving on from that. And you can send us your questions from Chubs Gone Wild or from heychubs at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. What's in your lunchbox? Well, Mr. Moose wrote in and said, haven't been eating anything exciting lately. This was the best I had. Pork with green beans, mild sauce with ginger. Wow,
Yeah.
that
Uh,
looks really good.
makes you want to get your greens down there, I'll tell you.
Right. Well, and he actually sent in another one just a little bit ago this morning, uh, which was simple grilled chicken sandwich and bacon and a side of fries. Sorry for being boring. And it, of course, is not boring, but it's not on the Trello for Tom to see. So he'll have to go over to Chubs Gone Wild to our Facebook group to see that. However, I had a few things that I put on here for this week, starting with, I have to open the photos, starting with, uh, after all that pub food on Top Chef, I had some fish and chips over at Pete's by the theater. And it is, it looks really yummy. The fries could have been better. The chips could have been better. But the fish was wonderful. It was really crispy, really cooked right. But the thing that stood out, and I'm not sure if you can actually see it in this photo here, but the thing that stood out was they made it like a solid fish, and it had like a fishtail shape at the end. Like they had just taken the fish and then actually battered it and fried it like that. But of course, it's not.
Yeah.
But it was a really neat effect, and I thought, wow, that's really cool. So there was that. Then the second is I made a taco last night, actually, and it's got the taco stuff there. Don't look at my china. My china is beautiful.
And no, I mean the China's better looking than this taco thing. That's meat with a little bit of cheese and sour cream. That
Yes,
that's
on a tortilla.
that's more of a burrito. Fold it the right way, call it what it is. This isn't a taco.
Okay. And then next is a bowl of what this was actually the slow cooker uh, that I made some potatoes and chicken and with beef stock and gravy and vegetables, stir fry vegetables that I put in there and added a cube of butter, and it was quite lovely, quite.
Why did you add beef stock to chicken?
It was all I had,
Oh, okay.
and it actually tasted just fine, except the chicken came out a little dry. Next up, you will see brownies that I made. I made a double batch of chocolate brownies, and these were Betty Crocker and came out so good. Oh my God, I have not had brownies that damn good so long. Just lovely. Now, the next photo you'll notice was
Were
Panda.
they special?
No,
Oh,
no, that would be your brownies. And then the next is Panda Express, where I had some lovely orange chicken and some honey walnut shrimp. Even though I'm supposed to be allergic to shrimp, I did it anyway. Some fried rice and a chicken egg roll, which I didn't care for. But the rest was great. And then there's also my receipt where you can see it came out to 1593 because it's expensive here. And then finally, a beautiful fried egg plate with sausages, half a
Wait,
banana
was that for two?
over toast. What?
Was that for two dinners?
What, the 15 one?
Well, it says one plate, but it says fried rice half, fried rice half.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that unless
Okay.
it was an
That
error because it was just for my plate. Yeah.
okay. All right. That's too much.
Yeah, right?
Well, first of all, you need to stop ordering the sodas.
Uh, I have not had any soda until that night
That
for
doesn't
about
matter. I
2
don't care whether you've had
You know
soda or
what?
not. What I'm
I
saying
will
is
order.
that this is how they rip you off.
Well, of course they do. But what am I going to do? Sit there and try to choke down dry fried rice without anything to drink?
Well, then you come home.
Oh, no, no, we ate there.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, and then we went over to that Namanon, whatever it is. It's the Japanese ice cream shop
okay.
where they put the little waffle with like Nutella and shit in it on your ice cream, which is usually like matcha and I don't know. It's a weird little shop. Anyway, so then I had eggs and toast and sausages, and it was just lovely. And why do you say that why am I adding some of these pedestrian dishes? Well, because we just didn't have much, so I felt like, but that fish and chips, man, that was good.
Well, that's a good one. That's
Yeah.
I'd say the soup is a good one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And even your Panda Express being ridiculously overpriced is a good one. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know, and I just want to point out that when people are looking at that brownie,
Uh,
remember Matt has got a huge fat hand. Okay.
oh,
This brownie is the size of a fucking
oh yeah.
frisbee, you
I was
know.
I was trying to show just how big it was. This was a huge ass brownie, and it
And
was one of a pan bake, so you know there were lots more.
and so that thing up at the top that says Nephi 1984 personal,
Uh-huh.
is there are there nudes?
No,
Oh, okay.
that's all from voice to text. What I do is I take people's handwritten journals that they would like put into text form, editable text form on the computer, and I convert them.
Oh, that's nice.
I know. It's wonderful. And I'm not too expensive at doing that either. So moving on. All right, Golden Rule Services want you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. PrEP is a proven medication proven to be 99% effective when preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, visit sacgrs.org. And don't forget that if you want to send us what's in your lunchbox, all you have to do is send us an email at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. Find Tom's other podcast at swannerandjudd.com. Find more about my books at justkisstheguy.com. And find all our links at allmylinks.com/chubsgonewild. Oh, and give us a call at
408 Chubs.
I can just hear them putting the U button. Beep. Didn't get it long enough to do that. Alrighty, Rue. Well, thank you so much for joining us for another episode, and we will catch you next time. Happy birthday, Bacon Month!
Bacon, 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 bacon.